Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Call of Duty Vanguard. Today we're going to be talking about Sledgehammer games, and specifically the future of Sledgehammer games, or lack thereof, here in the Call of Duty franchise. So I think it's pretty well documented at this point that Vanguard is the buggiest, most incomplete game that we've had in Call of Duty history, pretty much, when it comes to actual functionality. I think we've been Stockholm Syndromed a little bit into believing that having 16 maps at launch means the game's great. That's not true. Back in the day, 16 maps was commonplace. Like, I understand if you're like a newer COD fan and you've only been playing over the past couple of years, then you may think, wow, 16 maps at launch, that's amazing. It's like, dude, that's literally like the standard back in the day. It's only in recent years they dropped that number down to 10, 9, even 8 original maps at launch in certain COD games. And now that we have 16, people are thinking, wow, it's amazing. Let's just forget about the fact that Zombies is like a mobile game, essentially, that doesn't actually have a real map, and we're a couple months into the game's life cycle, and the fact that the game is the buggiest, most incomplete mess that we've ever seen. We got maps to play on, so that's a good thing, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess it is, but at the same time, man, I mean, we're talking like the buggiest COD that I've ever played, and I've been playing COD since 2007. It's been 14 years. Like, do you know what the world was like 14 years ago? Apple was announcing the very first iPhone. If you're a sports fan, Joe Thomas, Marshawn Lynch, Adrian Peterson, and Calvin Johnson were rookies. George W. Bush was still president, and most of my teammates in COD were still 2 years away from being born. That's how long ago 14 years was, and that was the last time that COD came out and had a ton of issues and also was not selling that well. Like in the UK, Call of Duty Vanguard had the worst launch in the United Kingdom, sales-wise, since 2007. We're talking 14 years ago here, guys, which is insane, and I have to wonder, what is Activision going to do about this, right? The game itself is not selling ridiculously well. I will say sales reports have come out, and Vanguard is in the, what was it? It must have been number 1 for November in the United States, and I think it's actually number 2 throughout the entire year of 2021. It's only behind Black Ops Cold War. Obviously, Halo's doing really well right now, but that's a free game. I mean, people are going to buy it for the campaign, but they're not going to buy it as much as they are just to play the multiplayer for free. So, Halo sales may not be all that great, all things considered, even though the game is doing incredibly well. Battlefield, of course, came out and was completely buggy and had so many issues at launch, just like Vanguard. It's a plague that AAA games have right now, just a complete plague where no matter what, they have to release games within a certain window, on a schedule, essentially. Like I talked about before, but imagine if any other form of media was like this. Like imagine if every movie that came out, everyone's loving that new Spider-Man movie. Like what if that movie had to have come out a year and a half ago or something like that? Regardless of whether or not it was ready, they just said, you know what, we have to push it out. We got to meet our sales quota. Time to get it out there and just make money. And then actually, you know, film half of it. They didn't get the right actors for it. They didn't mix it together, the audio. They didn't edit the video together all that well. Well, if they just pushed it out, right? Gaming is the only place where they can do that, because they can just go ahead and fix things after the fact, right? They push out a half-baked product, and then after that, they patch it after the launch. Maybe 6 months after the game comes out, it finally starts feeling complete because they know they can get away with it. So in the UK, Vanguard was selling horribly. In the United States, it is selling pretty well compared to other games that are out right now, but it's still selling less than Cold War did. It's selling less than Modern Warfare 2019 did, and basically COD sales are going down year after year after year here. It's still incredibly popular. It's Call of Duty at the end of the day, but sales are definitely going down, and right now we're supposed to be in the honeymoon phase, right? The first couple months of the game being out, especially before Christmas, this is supposed to be like the best time of year for the game, and what we have is an impossibly buggy mess that I don't know if Sledgehammer is ever going to be able to fix. I mean, for crying out loud, do you guys like lights? Like, aren't these Christmas lights pretty on Shipmas? It looks really nice, right? Well, what if we turn those lights up here a little bit? Let's just take a peek here. What is this? This is not editing, by the way. You can tell how like the overlay for the game and stuff like that is still like there. You can still see the calling cards popping up. You can still see the HUD and all that. Yeah, so my game just completely bugged out and gave me super bright lights, which actually happened a couple of times. This is not new to Vanguard or anything like that, or even new to Call of Duty. I remember back during Cold War, occasionally we would get rave mode where it would look like this. But yeah, super bright, hurts my eyes, gave me a headache when I was trying to finish this match because I want to back out and like make my friends all have to find the new lobby just because I happen to get it one of the glitches in this game. And speaking of glitches, I didn't know about this till yesterday, but honestly, you guys need to do this because it's hilarious, and maybe overall, if people make fun of it enough, it'll eventually get removed. So I think we can all agree that Killcam overlays are stupid. They look horrible. Like, look at this, for crying out loud. This is an actual thing that they want you to pay money for. Well, if you play Vanguard on the PC, all you guys gotta do is go to your Killcam overlays, and then instead of using a controller, use your keyboard and mouse. You literally just click on wherever it is you want to use, and then you have it. There you go. You can just straight up use whatever Killcam overlay you want. I suggest we all use the stupid cockpit, because look at this thing. It's like that they're charging money for this, for crying out loud. They think this is a good addition to the game to make it so all of your final kill cams, or whenever you kill somebody and they watch your kill cam, they have to look at this thing right here. Like, it's a thing. So guys, rock the cockpit. Just do it. Just use the glitch, rock the cockpit, and then just make fun of it as much as humanly possible, and hopefully they'll get rid of it, because for crying out loud, man, they are monetizing kill cams, for crying out loud. They're monetizing everything. I mean, look at the update that happened to Warzone recently. I saw that Raven Software put out an update for Warzone. I'm like, all right, cool, an update. I'm enjoying Warzone. There was one actual update in there. They nerfed the Cooper Carbine, which is whatever. It was a good gun, but, they nerfed one gun. Weapon balance happens. And then all the other updates in the patch notes are literally just fixing things in the store. All the other problems that we have in Vanguard, all the other problems that we have in Warzone, all the problems we have collectively in general, and their priority is fixing the store. Not to mention packet burst. That's still a thing in this game. It's not crashing games as much as it did before. It still does crash games. So look at this packet burst, for example, man. I load into the game. I'm one of the 3 teammates on my team that have packet burst, and as a result, I am literally unable to move until the game catches up, because packet burst is so massive. Like, I was unable to play the game, and I died right away just because that person didn't have packet burst, and I happened to have packet burst. I mean, Season 1 here is, right? Season 1, you get new maps, new challenges, and things like that. Well, the seasonal challenges are finally in the game. They weren't there for the first week of Season 1 being out, but the seasonal challenges are finally here, and guess what? If you finish all of them, it doesn't work. Who would have thought? Like, if you do all 20 challenges, for crying out loud, the game bugs out and says, yeah, you've only done 19 of them. Too bad. Go do the final challenge. But there is no final challenge, because I've done all the challenges, and it doesn't matter, right? I mean, we're talking about, like, atomic ammo here, dark matter, right? We talked about dark matter back during Cold War so often, and how they would not update dark matter to make it look good on all the guns, because half the guns, it just looked buggy and horrible and didn't cover anything. Well, here in Vanguard, I mean, we're a month and a half into the game's life cycle, even more potentially. You cannot earn atomic camo yet legitimately. It is actually impossible, because there's still bugged out challenges in this game. Meanwhile, Sledgehammer Games is on their 2nd vacation since the game came out. I mean, they had their vacation because they all can't stop diddling each other over there at their studio for some reason. I mean, I'm not making light of that, but that's actually a thing. Like, sexual harassment, sexual allegations, it's like so massive within Activision Blizzard that they're still trying to get Bobby Kotick fired so they can try to rebuild the entire culture within the company. So they got a week-long vacation for that, which is actually kind of warranted. But then now we have holiday vacation, which is also warranted, if you ask me. But you still have 2 vacations since the game came out, and the game is still buggy. They're still not updating things besides the shop. Then after that, they have the New Year's vacation, I'm sure. Then after that, it's going to be Valentine's Day vacation, then St. Patrick's Day vacation. Like, when are they going to eventually fix this game? Like, I understand that things are bad within the studio. I get that, but for crying out loud, like, why are we being punished as the consumers? Like, a lot of us are starting to wonder at this point if the problems that we have here in this game are their weird, like, way of protesting Activision Blizzard, and instead of, like, fixing the game and just making a good product to sell, instead they're just selling the game, knowing it's broken, and refusing to fix things. I mean, the moment they add anything to the game, they break something else, it seems like. Like, I honestly think that either we are dealing with the most incompetent developers in the history of video games, or we're dealing with an actual protest here, and they're doing it intentionally. But honestly, I'm thinking it's just because they're incompetent and they don't care. That's where I am with Sledgehammer Games right now. As much as I loved Call of Duty World War II, as much potential as Advanced Warfare, I think, had with a lot of their innovations, I mean, Sledgehammer, you've lost me here, man. Like, you guys have just completely lost me, and I loved World War II. I played that game all year round. I talked about it all year round. I got Prestige Master. I got Chrome Camo. I did everything there was to do in that game because I loved it, and I backed you guys the entire year, even when people were saying that the game sucked because of how bad the Division system was at launch, and how bad Domination 50 was, and all that, and how bad Chrome was at launch, and then the fact that you added a better-looking version of Chrome to the supply drop loot pool. I even defended you guys during that, for crying out loud. But dude, I can't defend this no more. This is the buggiest, most incomplete game that we have ever had since I've started playing COD 14 long years ago. And nothing's being fixed. It's been a month and a half. Christmas is in 5 days. This game came out, November 5th? What was it? I honestly don't remember the exact date, but I think it was somewhere around there. What is happening at your studio? Why are you not taking pride in your work, and why are you choosing? At this point, you guys are actively choosing to punish the consumer. That's what this is. So I'm talking like direct to Sledgehammer Games or anyone that works there right now. You guys are actively just punishing the consumer over stuff that we have nothing to do with. I get that Activision Blizzard sucks. I get that Bobby Kotick is a little piece of shit. I get that. I really do. I get that Bobby Kotick looks exactly like the elves that you guys put into the game. Right? We all understand that. We all understand that he should be fired. We understand that the workplace is not exactly a safe and inclusive workplace. That sucks. It really does. And I truly hope that it gets changed. I've been following the Better ABK movement on Twitter for a while now, and I'm trying to keep as much of my finger on the pulse as I possibly can so I get to see what's happening, and I'm hoping to see some proper actual change. I really am. But at this point, you're actively choosing to punish the people that want nothing more than to enjoy the product that you put all your time and effort into. And instead of helping out the consumer, you guys are actively against us at this point. That's what it is. I mean, I get that the Trello board is there, and it's nice that the Trello board occasionally gets updated, but it's not enough. It really isn't. There are so many challenges in this game. Like, how I get through this game, like, as a COD YouTuber, as someone whose, like, job it is to play this game and cover this game and report on this game, I do challenges. That's what I do. I level up, I do challenges, I try to unlock everything there is to do in the game. Well, I can't do that. I actually can't. I can't get atomic camo. I can't go for 100%er because, one, 100%er is not in the game, and two, your challenges don't track. They just don't. I have like 16,000 kills in this game, and apparently I've never killed a single person that has a spy plane in the sky or a radar because those challenges aren't tracking. Right? So I can't do challenges. I can't level up all the operators all the way because you have to buy them from the shop as compared to actually just, unlocking them all and doing things. Prestige mode itself shows like 4 different prestiges. I have no idea what actual prestige I am at this point. Like, what am I supposed to do? What is anyone supposed to do? You guys are actively making a shitty experience for the consumer. People that spent their hard-earned money for what? Just a broken game where every day there's more and more glitches and more problems to discuss. I mean, for crying out loud, me and Blame Truth are going to be the biggest YouTubers in the history of the world by the end of the year here because there's just so much to talk about. Every day, it's not like, oh, guys, guess what? This update, look how great this is. No, every single day, there's something new that's broken. Everything just keeps getting worse somehow, and I don't understand it. And to move away from talking to Sledgehammer Games directly here for a second, I honestly believe that if sales don't improve, which they won't unless you guys fix your game, I can see Sledgehammer Games being kicked out by Activision. I can definitely see that happening because, well, if we go back to like to the full timeline here, this game was never supposed to have existed. Isn't that crazy to think about? Like, you guys may remember this. Going back to Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops Cold War, that game was originally being co-developed by Sledgehammer Games and Raven Software. They were co-developing their own Cold War game. The game itself was apparently in a terrible state. It was not well put together whatsoever. They could not agree on one unified vision, allegedly, according to leaks and rumors and industry insiders and stuff like that. And Activision had to step in, kick Sledgehammer Games out, essentially, and let Treyarch finish the game with 9 months until launch. And if you look at that timeline, that means ever since Sledgehammer got kicked out of Cold War and then had to go start working on something else, they've had roughly 18 to 20 months to get Vanguard out and make Vanguard. And then they released Vanguard, and look what we have here, man. They just took like the Modern Warfare 2019 engine, which was, they copied it so hard, they brought back the Riot Shield glitch from Modern Warfare 2019. Apparently they couldn't use an updated version of that engine. I don't know. But they brought the game out, and it had bugs from 2+ years ago in the game. It doesn't track anything properly. Challenges don't work. Atomic camo doesn't work. Stuff in the shop doesn't work. You go and buy tracer rounds, spend your $20 dues on your tracer rounds. Those don't even work. But of course, they've tried to fix that right away. You have so many problems, man. Season 1 didn't work when it came out. When you finally updated Season 1, now the challenges don't work for that. Packet burst is still a massive issue that's crashing so many people's consoles and PCs to the point where people have to literally unplug their PlayStations and Xboxes from their walls to make it so the game actually works. They can finally close their game because it freezes their Xbox so much. I'm looking at a massive light show here on shipment. It's impossible to get atomic camo, and we have Killcam Overlays for some reason. I'm gonna do the rest of the video in the stupid cockpit mode so you guys can just enjoy how cool this is. Like, what happened to COD, guys? What happened? What happened to the Call of Duty franchise? I mean, I guess it's fun because every day I get to make another video about what else is broken with the game, because every time they do anything to the game, they fix one thing, they break 4 more. That's been like their mantra so far, and I get that they're all on vacation for the holidays and stuff like that, but that means that nothing actually important is going to change between now and like mid-January probably, and even then, who knows what's actually going to happen mid-January. I mean, dude, if you look at, I think it's, what was it, Tier 94, the Battle Pass, I'm pretty sure if you go and look at that really cool highlight intro for when you get play of the game, it straight up freezes your console or your PC and makes it so your game doesn't work if you try to preview it. And if you just equip it without previewing it, the thing takes like 20 seconds. Like the highlight intro is like super slowed down, and then you can actually see what's happening. It's just, dude, there's something new every day. At this point, it's becoming more of a comedy. This is no longer like a drama. This has evolved into a comedy as to how bad like this ragtag group of like horrible developers can like mess up their game even worse than they did before. It's nuts. It's insane. And I don't want that to be the case. I want the game to be good. I want Call of Duty World War II 2.0 essentially, but we're not getting that right now. And I made that video saying whether or not people should buy Vanguard, and I said no, you guys should not buy Vanguard. It's my job to play it and review it and talk about it and stuff like that. That's literally what I've done for a decade here on YouTube. It may not be a ton of fun every single day because I have to subject myself to the most buggy, broken COD that we've ever seen in the 14 years I've been playing the game, but it's my job. It's what I do. I'm here. I play the game so you guys don't have to, essentially, right? And people are asking me on my Twitch chat almost daily, is the game fixed yet? Should I buy the game? Christmas is coming up, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, no. Like, the game is not worthy of your money, despite the fact that it's been on sale more than it hasn't been since launch. That's nuts to think about. But ladies and gentlemen, I can honestly see Sledgehammer Games being pushed out by Activision after this year, should the game not start randomly selling well. And maybe that's why they're monetizing kill cams, for crying out loud. They're trying to squeeze out every last dollary-do that they can before the end of the 1-year life cycle so they can look at their numbers and say, yeah, we didn't do so bad. The game was made during a pandemic. We did what we could for the pandemic. Meanwhile, every other game's coming out and doesn't have nearly as many issues as this. So, I don't know. I feel like if sales aren't great, Activision may actually kick Sledgehammer out because they messed up Black Ops Cold War, or at that point, whatever game they were calling it, Sledgehammer Vietnam, wherever they were going to name that game. And so they had to, start working on a new project, which was this, which is basically just a World War II version of Modern Warfare 2019. And right now, I'm wondering if people at Activision, if they can look past all their lawsuits for a second, stop harassing each other, I wonder if some of the higher-ups are wondering, well, maybe we get rid of Sledgehammer, because right now they're more trouble than they're actually worth. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how things are going to play out, ladies and gentlemen. Leave your thoughts and feedback on that down there in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for listening. And also, brand new feature here. I don't like to pimp this kind of stuff here on the channel, but I literally just got approved for it yesterday. Like, I signed in the YouTube, and it's like, hey, do you want to have members on your channel? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'll do that. I'll sign up for that. So basically, it's just like Twitch. If you guys care enough, if you guys want to support the channel, support what I'm doing here in NerosCinema, there's now a join button below the video. You click on join, and you can, quote-unquote, subscribe to my channel like you can on Twitch. It's $5 a month to get access to these different icons that I set up, which are basically like the World at War prestige icons. Like, as you level up, like as more months you are a member of the channel, your rank goes up and it changes your icon. You get priority to replies in the comments, but I reply to a lot of comments anyway, but I'll reply to more people, obviously, if they're members, because I feel so if you're sending me money, I should really go out of my way to answer questions and stuff like that. And then, of course, you get emotes, which are right now just the same emotes I have on my Twitch channel, which is Bulbasaur, because Bulbasaur is awesome and everyone appreciates him. But ladies and gentlemen, there you guys have it. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider leaving a like, leave your thoughts and feedback down in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.